Since the dawn of history, amphibians have played a unique role in human culture. In Western Europe, people would sometimes find large black four-legged creatures with bright yellow spots emerging from firewood. These fire salamanders inspired myths and legends, with some believing they were born from fire or could even extinguish flames. Ancient thinkers like Aristotle and Pliny the Elder contributed to these stories, and even Leonardo da Vinci added to the lore. Salamanders were thought to possess great powers, from being immune to fire to poisoning entire armies. Over time, these myths became woven into daily life, with amphibians like salamanders, newts, toads, and frogs becoming familiar creatures in folklore and childhood experiences. Generations, amphibians were generally seen as harmless and even helpful. They devoured harmful insects and sometimes served as an alternative food source. Myths persisted, like Shakespeare's witches brewing with an eye of newt and tail of frog, but in everyday life these animals were part of the natural world people grew up with. However, in the 1980s a shocking discovery emerged. Amphibians worldwide were declining at an alarming rate. Biologists and the public alike were surprised to learn that amphibians were at greater risk of extinction than any other group of vertebrates. By 2004, studies showed that around 40% of amphibian species were at high risk. Amphibians are divided into three major groups: anurans, frogs and toads, caudates or uradials, salamanders and newts, and gymnophians, limbless caecilians. These groups are ancient, representing some of the earliest land vertebrates. The earliest known frog lived about 250 million years ago, and modern amphibians have survived mass extinctions that wiped out many other species. While frogs and salamanders are well known and widely distributed, caecilians remain mysterious even to experts. Their evolutionary history is a testament to their resilience, but today many face unprecedented threats. Amphibians are fascinating in their diversity. Frogs and toads, salamanders and newts, and the limbless caecilians each have distinct anatomical features. Frogs have short trunks, long hind limbs, and no tails as adults, making them unmistakable. Salamanders have well-proportioned heads, limbs, and tails, often resembling lizards but with unique differences. Caecilians, on the other hand, are worm-like, with ringed bodies and no limbs at all. Their skin is moist and serves as a primary respiratory organ, producing secretions that can be toxic. This diversity in form and function is part of what makes amphibians so intriguing to scientists and nature lovers alike. Three orders of amphibians are distributed very differently around the world. Frogs are found on every continent except Antarctica, and are especially abundant in the tropics and on large islands. Salamanders, by contrast, are mostly found in northern regions and are absent from most large islands and all oceanic islands. Caecilians are the most restricted, limited to tropical regions. These distribution patterns reflect both evolutionary history and ecological specialization. Despite their differences, all amphibians share a reliance on moist environments, which shapes where they can thrive. Frogs have a highly conserved body plan that sets them apart from other vertebrates. Their bodies are compact, with short trunks and no tails as adults. The elongated pelvic girdle and long hind limbs allow many species to leap impressive distances, sometimes over 2 meters. While some frogs are adapted for jumping, others that live underground have shorter legs and are better suited for walking, hopping, or burrowing. Their large heads relative to body size and unique limb structure make frogs instantly recognizable, no matter where they are found. Salamanders typically have a body shape reminiscent of early land vertebrates, with well-proportioned heads, limbs, and tails. Their trunks are of moderate length and their tails can sometimes be much longer than their bodies. Limbs are usually moderate in size and their digits are similar to frogs, 4 on the forelimb and 5 on the hind limb. Because of their appearance, salamanders are often mistaken for lizards, though they are not closely related. Some salamanders, like Amphiumas and sirens, have become elongated and eel-like, while others, such as the giant salamanders of China and Japan, can grow over 1.5 meters long. Caecilians are perhaps the most mysterious of all amphibians. They are worm-like, with bodies marked by rings and no limbs at any stage of development. Most caecilians are terrestrial burrowers, though a few are aquatic. Their eyes are reduced and their heads feature a unique chemosensory organ called a tentacle, which helps them sense their environment. The trunk is extremely elongated, often with over 100 vertebrae, and the tail is usually absent. These adaptations make caecilians well suited for a life spent mostly underground, out of sight from humans and predators alike. Amphibians are renowned for their diverse life histories. While many follow the classic pattern of laying eggs in water that hatch into larvae or tadpoles, countless species have evolved alternative strategies. Some lay eggs on land that develop directly into miniature adults, skipping the larval stage altogether. Others, like cert salamanders, retain larval features throughout life, a phenomenon known as neoteny. In caecilians, some species are truly viviparous, giving birth to live young that have been nourished inside the mother. Frogs, too, display remarkable reproductive diversity, with eggs laid in tree bromeliads, vocal sacs, or even stomachs. This variety is a hallmark of amphibian evolution. The amphibians have evolved striking warning colors to deter predators. This phenomenon, known as aposematism, is widespread among frogs and salamanders. Some harmless species even mimic the appearance of toxic ones, gaining protection through deception. For example, in Ecuadorian rainforests, the harmless albate saparo mimics the toxic Amirga bilinguis. Similarly, the salamander and Satina eschscholtz mimics the highly toxic rough-skinned newt in regions where their ranges overlap. These adaptations highlight the complex interactions between amphibians and their predators, as well as the evolutionary arms race that shapes their appearance. Skin of amphibians is one of their most remarkable features. It is highly vascularized, serving as the main respiratory organ for many species. Amphibian skin is also packed with glands that produce a wide range of secretions, from substances that keep the skin moist to powerful toxins that deter predators. Chromatophores in the skin create the vivid colors seen in many species, playing roles in camouflage, warning, and communication. This unique skin is both a strength and a vulnerability, as it makes amphibians sensitive to environmental changes and pollutants. Several amphibians have become important model organisms in scientific research. The axolotl, famous for its ability to regenerate limbs and tails, has provided insights into developmental biology. The African clawed frog, Xenopus laevis, and its relative X. tropicalis are widely used in studies of cell and developmental biology. However, there are challenges. Amphibians can be difficult to breed in captivity, and their large, complex genomes make genetic studies more complicated. Despite these hurdles, amphibians continue to play a vital role in advancing our understanding of biology. Water is central to the lives of all amphibians. Most species depend on moist environments for survival, though some frogs and salamanders have adapted to live in drier habitats. In temperate zones, the typical amphibian life cycle involves adults gathering at ponds or streams in spring to mate and lay eggs. The eggs hatch into aquatic larvae or tadpoles, which eventually metamorphose into land-dwelling juveniles. However, this classic pattern is just one of many, as amphibians have evolved a wide range of reproductive strategies to cope with different environments. While the pond breeding life cycle is common, many amphibians have developed alternative reproductive strategies. Some lay eggs in unusual places, such as tree branches, vocal sacs, or even the stomachs of adults. Others, like midwife toads, have males that carry eggs until they are ready to hatch. These adaptations allow amphibians to exploit a variety of habitats and avoid aquatic predators. The diversity of amphibian life histories is a testament to their evolutionary flexibility and resilience. Despite growing concerns about amphibian survival, new species are being discovered at an impressive rate. As of August 2018, nearly 8,000 amphibian species were known, double the number from 1985. Many new species are found in previously unexplored regions like Madagascar, Papua New Guinea, and parts of South America, but some are even discovered in urban areas. Advances in molecular techniques have also revealed hidden diversity within long-known species. This ongoing discovery highlights both the richness of amphibian life and the importance of continued research. South America stands out as the richest region for frogs, with Brazil alone boasting over 1,000 species. Ecuador, despite its small size, has 586 frog species, while Spain has just 28. Salamanders are most diverse in North America, especially the United States, which has nearly 200 species. Caecilians are concentrated in tropical regions, with India and the Seychelles being notable hotspots. These patterns reflect both historical and ecological factors, as well as the ongoing discovery of new species in both remote and urban areas. Amphibians are key components of ecosystems worldwide. In many local communities, they are the most abundant vertebrates by biomass and often serve as top predators of invertebrates. Frogs and salamanders are also critical food sources for other animals, linking different parts of the food web. Their presence or absence can have cascading effects on ecosystem health, making their conservation vital not just for their own sake, but for the broader environment. Amphibians have survived previous mass extinction events and have adapted to a wide range of habitats, from rainforests to deserts and high mountains. Their resilience is remarkable, but it also makes the current global decline even more concerning. Despite their adaptability, amphibians are now facing threats that are pushing many species toward extinction at an unprecedented rate. Understanding both their strengths and vulnerabilities is crucial for their conservation. First worldwide assessment of amphibian status, published in 2004, revealed a crisis. 43% of species were experiencing population declines, and 7.4% were in the highest risk category. This level of endangerment is higher than for any other major vertebrate group. Many species are so poorly known that their risk status cannot even be assessed, but they are likely to be in trouble as well. Since then, the situation has only worsened, with more species becoming threatened and many remaining insufficiently studied. Causes of amphibian declines are complex and multifaceted. Habitat destruction, such as deforestation, wetland drainage, and urban expansion, is a major factor. The widespread use of pesticides and fertilizers, as well as climate change-induced droughts and temperature increases, also play significant roles. However, one of the most devastating threats has been the emergence of a pathogenic chytrid fungus, Batrachochytrium dendrobatides bead, which has caused mass die-offs in amphibian populations worldwide. Chytrid fungus bead was discovered at the end of the 20th century and quickly became a major focus of research. This microscopic organism invades amphibian skin, disrupting their osmotic balance and often leading to heart failure. Bead outbreaks have caused catastrophic declines in amphibian-rich regions like Australia, Costa Rica, Panama, and California's Sierra Nevada. The fungus likely originated in Eastern Asia, where it causes little harm, but has spread globally, devastating populations elsewhere. Scientists have been working to mitigate the effects of the chytrid fungus. One promising approach involves studying the skin microbial communities of amphibians to enhance their immune systems. In some regions, such as Australia, there has been partial recovery from initial outbreaks. However, bead remains a major threat to many frog species and communities worldwide. Continued research and conservation efforts are essential to combat this deadly pathogen. As if bead were not enough, researchers have recently discovered another highly virulent chytrid fungus, Batrachochytrium salamandravorans (BSAL). This new pathogen is even more deadly and has caused steep declines in fire salamander populations in the Netherlands and nearby regions. B-sal appears to be endemic in Eastern Asia and was likely introduced to Europe through the pet trade. Unlike bead, B-sal is lethal outside its native range, and there is currently no evidence of immunity in affected populations. In addition to chytrid fungi, amphibians face other infectious diseases. Ranaviruses, for example, have been known for decades and can significantly impact local populations. While most of these diseases are less well understood and not associated with mass mortality events, they add to the complex web of threats facing amphibians today. Monitoring and managing these diseases is an ongoing challenge for conservationists. Global pet trade has played a significant role in the spread of amphibian pathogens. Popular species like the blue-tailed fire-bellied newt and oriental fire-bellied toad are suspected agents in the worldwide spread of chytrid fungus. The movement of amphibians across borders increases the risk of introducing deadly diseases to new regions, with devastating consequences for native populations. Recent restrictions on amphibian imports in Europe and North America aim to curb this threat. Amphibian genomes are among the largest and most complex in the animal kingdom. Some frog genomes reach nearly 15 gigabases, while salamanders can exceed 100 gigabases. These large genomes slow development, extend generation times, and reduce metabolic rates. The reasons for such large genomes remain a mystery, posing a major research challenge. Despite these difficulties, advances in sequencing technology are beginning to shed light on amphibian genetics. Amphibians are found in a remarkable range of habitats, from lowland rainforests to deserts and high mountain elevations. Some frogs and salamanders have adapted to live in trees, while others thrive in arid environments with scarce water. These adaptations demonstrate the evolutionary flexibility of amphibians and their ability to survive in challenging conditions. However, even the most specialized species are not immune to the threats posed by habitat loss and disease. New amphibian species are being discovered not only in remote rainforests and mountains, but also in urban areas of India and China. This surprising trend reflects both the adaptability of amphibians and the increased focus of scientists on studying them. Urban environments can sometimes provide unexpected refuges for amphibians, though they also present unique challenges such as pollution and habitat fragmentation. Amphibians are often considered environmental indicators due to their sensitivity to changes in their surroundings. Their permeable skin makes them particularly vulnerable to pollutants, climate change, and habitat alterations. When amphibian populations decline, it can signal broader environmental problems that may eventually affect other species, including humans. Protecting amphibians is thus an important part of safeguarding ecosystem health. Serving amphibians is a complex task that requires addressing multiple threats simultaneously. Efforts include habitat protection, disease management, captive breeding, and public education. International cooperation is essential, as many amphibian species cross national borders and face global threats. Despite the challenges, dedicated scientists and conservationists continue to work tirelessly to ensure the survival of these remarkable animals. Ongoing research is critical for understanding amphibian biology and developing effective conservation strategies. Advances in genetics, disease ecology, and habitat management are providing new tools for protecting amphibians. Collaboration between scientists, governments, and local communities is key to translating research findings into practical action. As our knowledge grows, so does our ability to help amphibians survive and thrive. Amphibians have contributed significantly to biomedical research. The regenerative abilities of the axolotl, for example, have inspired studies in tissue repair and healing. Xenopus frogs have been instrumental in understanding cell division and development. These contributions extend beyond basic science, offering potential benefits for human health and medicine. Protecting amphibians is not only an ecological imperative, but also a scientific one. Raising public awareness about amphibians and their plight is crucial for conservation success. Educational programs, citizen science projects, and outreach initiatives help people understand the importance of amphibians and the threats they face. By fostering a connection between people and amphibians, these efforts can inspire action and support for conservation measures at local, national, and global levels. Climate change poses a growing threat to amphibians worldwide. Rising temperatures, altered rainfall patterns, and increased frequency of droughts can disrupt breeding cycles, reduce suitable habitats, and increase vulnerability to disease. Some species may adapt or shift their ranges, but many are at risk of decline or extinction. Addressing climate change is therefore an integral part of amphibian conservation. Wetlands are critical habitats for many amphibian species, providing breeding grounds, food, and shelter. The drainage and destruction of wetlands for agriculture and urban development have had devastating effects on amphibian populations. Protecting and restoring wetlands is essential for maintaining healthy amphibian communities and supporting biodiversity more broadly. Many cultures, amphibians have been used as food and medicine, and they continue to hold symbolic significance. From the fire salamander of European legend to the frogs and newts in traditional remedies, these animals have shaped human history and imagination. Understanding and respecting cultural connections to amphibians can enhance conservation efforts by integrating local knowledge and values. Despite the many challenges they face, amphibians are long-term survivors. Many species continue to thrive, adapting to changing environments and new threats. With continued research, conservation action, and public support, there's hope that amphibians will remain a vibrant part of our world for generations to come. Their survival depends on our willingness to act and our commitment to protecting the natural world. Global organizations like the International Union for Conservation of Nature (IUCN) play a vital role in assessing amphibian status and coordinating conservation efforts. International treaties and collaborations help protect habitats, regulate trade, and fund research. These initiatives are essential for addressing threats that cross borders and require collective action. Amphibians often capture the public's imagination through documentaries, books, and art. Media coverage can raise awareness about their beauty, diversity, and the threats they face. By sharing stories of discovery, survival, and conservation, the media can inspire people to care about amphibians and support efforts to protect them. Citizen science projects invite the public to participate in monitoring amphibian populations, reporting sightings, and collecting data. These efforts expand the reach of scientific research and help track changes in amphibian distribution and abundance. Engaging communities in conservation fosters a sense of stewardship and provides valuable information for scientists. Amphibians provide important ecosystem services such as controlling insect populations and contributing to nutrient cycling. Their presence supports the health of both terrestrial and aquatic ecosystems. The loss of amphibians can disrupt these services, leading to imbalances that affect other species and human well-being. Beyond their ecological roles, amphibians have economic value. They are used in scientific research, medicine, and even agriculture where they help control pests. Ecotourism focused on amphibian-rich habitats can also provide income for local communities. Recognizing the economic benefits of amphibians can strengthen arguments for their conservation. Amphibians possess unique genetic resources that have potential applications in biotechnology and medicine. Their diverse adaptations, regenerative abilities, and chemical defenses offer opportunities for scientific discovery. Protecting amphibian diversity preserves these genetic resources for future generations and potential innovations. Some amphibian species produce compounds with medicinal properties, including painkillers and antibiotics. Research into amphibian skin secretions has led to the development of new drugs and treatments. The loss of amphibian diversity could mean the loss of valuable medical resources, underscoring the importance of their conservation. Story of amphibians is one of ancient survival, remarkable diversity, and urgent crisis. As we face the challenges of habitat loss, disease, and climate change, the fate of amphibians hangs in the balance. By supporting research, conservation, and education, we can help ensure that frogs, salamanders, and caecilians continue to thrive. The future of amphibians is in our hands, and their survival is a testament to our commitment to the natural world.